Yo, 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 it's that time again. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. You know him as a dope actor, Kevin D. Bitten, 360 twice, Jim, how he keep winning. And you know the baddest actress, Nikee Warren. She so bad you walking past, she had you speaking for her. If you ain't tuning in, this your reality check. You might miss out on your favorite star celebrity guest. When they celebrate, what you do, you get the bell, yeah. During Kevin's corner, get inspired and encouraged, yeah. Bend them corners, why you listen, but don't swerve. Find out what's getting on, Nikee nerd. What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? Keep on playing, me and Kevin Goons, and we gon' get you hit. Yo, check us out on social media. In your mobile phone, we everywhere. You ever stations played out like a ringtone. Follow me like Bino, R-E-M-E-Y. Bino Remy, pop like Simi. And my flow hotter, thicker semi. Been doing this since I scraped up pennies. But back to the subject, Kevin Nikee.
We're back.
We are back.
We sure are. It's always good to be back.
Yes. It's the Kevin and Nikee show on iHeartRadio.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We're on iHeartRadio and all around the world.
Yeah, holla if you hear me.
He said, holla if you hear me.
Who said that?
Tupac.
Holla if you hear me. Dear mama. Dear mama.
He said, come like me.
Hail Mary, one quick seed. What do we have here now? La da da. La da 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 da.
Said, come with me.
Hail Mary.
He said, Hail Mary. Tupac lives on.
Yes, Tupac.
That's what's up.
Love me some Tupac.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, if he was here today, Lord have mercy, I know for a fact that the rap world will be turned upside down.
Yeah. Well, you know, Suge Knight's son says he's still here.
Yeah, he did say that,
didn't he? Yeah, he did say that. Remember that?
He did say that. Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah, we talked about that on the previous show.
He did say that.
So we're not going to revisit that, but...
Did say that. He did say that.
He sure did. So, yeah, man, look, it's always good to be back for another exciting week, another exciting episode. You know, we always got a whole lot to talk about.
Yes, we do. And I am super excited because, you know, it was Oscar buzz all over the weekend and we're going to get into it.
All right.
So without further ado,
it's time for the many adventures of Kevin and Nikee.
Yes, it was Oscar buzz over the weekend. Shout out to Regina King. Congratulations. Best Supporting Actress. Congratulations. Mahershala Ali, Remy Malek, and our boy Spike Lee.
Yeah. And I can't remember the lady's name who got Best Costume Design for Black Panther.
Oh, snap. You know what? We
got to get that name. We got to get
her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, it was it was awesome. It was awesome.
It was pretty good. You know, I was still rooting for Black Panther though to
win something,
and they didn't. They didn't win it. It went to Green Book. What Green Book was good.
It was a good movie. Green Book was a good movie.
Green Book was a very good movie. But, Black Panther didn't pull it. And I thought, our boy Spike Lee thought he was going to get it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He said, Spike said every time somebody driving somebody, he'd end up losing.
Yeah.
Because he lost to driving Miss Daisy back in the day.
Yep.
So, Spike, you might want to make one of those movies where somebody's driving somebody.
Somebody's driving somebody so that you can take home the Oscar next year. So we'll see what happens.
Like driving Shaquita or somebody. You know what I'm saying? It might be.
Yeah, so shout out to Lottie Di, everybody who won, and it was awesome.
And the Oscars, the Golden Globes, they're so motivational and encouraging. They're very, very motivational and encouraging, for any actor to watch because it's the epitome of what we aspire for. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's the epitome. Yeah. It's as high as you can go.
Yeah.
It is the elite of the elite. And it's just motivating. It's just so motivational, so encouraging and things like that. And what it says is we still have a lot of work to do. We have so much more to aspire for. Yeah. And but
I'm gonna tell you what I like though. I like the fact that you don't have to wait for your Oscar to come in the mail with your name and everything engraved on it. Right. They do it. They do it now.
Right there. That's awesome.
They do it there now, and and that's good because somebody last year got their Oscar stolen.
Yeah, I heard about that. And the guy was taking pictures with it like it was his.
I heard about that. It was an actress. She got her Oscar stolen last year, so that's probably why.
I know who it was.
Who was it?
I don't remember the lady's name, but she played in that movie with the billboards.
Remember? Oh, yes. Yeah. You know what? That's the name of the movie, too. Billboards.
Yeah, Billboards. She was the lead actress in that movie, Billboards. Yeah. And I can't remember her name. Her name slips my mind. But she also was in Transformers. Yes. She's a phenomenal actress.
She is a phenomenal actress. So she got her Oscar stolen last year. And so
I think they got it back though. Did they get it back?
Yeah, eventually they got it back. But I like how you don't have to wait for it to come in the mail. To get your name engraved. Because people be steal. Now we know people steal the Oscars.
Well, people if they want to steal, they still can steal it with your name. They just take it off, put their name on it.
Let me tell you something. When I win my Oscar, I'm going to purposely carry a bit. You know what? I'm not going to tell y'all what I'm going to carry because I don't want nobody to say, "Oh, watch out for Nikee's thing." I'm not saying anything, but trust me, I'm going to have something on me that my Oscar is going to be sitting in, and y'all ain't going to know.
The Oscar is going to be protected by vipers.
Listen now, unless y'all trying to go up my dress and get it.
See, now you're giving too much information.
I'm not going to say.
See how we end up in these places. You know what I'm saying? We went from Oscars to up dresses.
No, I'm just saying. My Oscar, trust me, is going to be well hidden, and you guys will not be finding it. I'm trying to tell you right now. Y'all ain't getting my joy. I worked hard for that.
I got you.
Worked hard for that.
I'm with you on that.
Yes.
I'm with you on that. So, yeah. So,
I have to put that in the vault.
You got to put it in the vault.
You're going to have to put that.
It got to be protected.
Yeah, that's something that you just can't have out on display.
Or you just can't invite everybody over your house. Yeah, that's it. On display. I would, you know what? I would want to have it sitting where I can see it every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That thing is going to be under lock and key. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Pit bulls sitting in front of the vault. If you make it past the pit bulls.
That's right.
You still got to know the combination.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. So yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
That's what's up.
You know, we're waiting on our turn. We're waiting to get there. Like you said, that's every actor's dream.
Yeah, it's so motivational and inspirational. I remember Kevin Durant, two-time NBA champion. Mm-hmm. He shared a story when he was younger, how his AAU coach used to take them in the basement of his house to watch the NBA draft.
Nice.
And, what it was doing, he was reinforcing something in their minds. He was giving them a vision at a young age of where they could be later on. And lo and behold, he's a two-time NBA champion. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you need some things to line up. You need some divine intervention and things like that to fall in place, and love and support, like Regina King talked about. And yeah, it can happen, man.
Nice,
you know, it can definitely it can happen.
Nice.
It can happen. It can definitely happen. And of course, it goes without saying that there's a lot of hard work, persistence, and things like that that goes into the formula. And so yeah, watching the Oscars or Golden Globe, it reinforces positivity in your mind. It, you know, keeps you humble, lets you know that there are higher heights and deeper depths to go and achieve. And you know, no matter how good you are or how good you become, you always realize that I still have higher to obtain. And then, of course, I mean, and then on the flip side of that, there's a lot of, you know, great actors out there that haven't won Oscars or Golden Globes that are, you know, doing very, very well for themselves in terms of getting work, being handsomely paid, and things like that. So, you know, hey, hopefully, prayerfully, the stars will line up for us, and that'll be us one day.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So with that said, we always got stuff going on. So what you got going on, Nick?
Well, I'm preparing for the Coventing Witches.
Okay.
Episode 2.
There you go.
Season 1, episode 1 right now is on Amazon Prime. So right now I'm locking in my lines for season 1, episode 2. Get ready to go in and film that and get that up there.
Yeah.
And just got, you know, some things. Got a huge audition coming up this Saturday.
Yeah.
Nervous about that, but I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do what it's gonna do. Make it do what it's gonna do.
Give it your best. That's it.
I'm gonna go out there and I'm going to do it. So I'll be heading up to New York this weekend to knock that audition out the water.
Yeah.
And, you know, going over lines for some stuff that we're waiting to be filmed.
Right.
You know, so I've been busy training, you know, getting myself together, right. getting it ready for what we're going to be doing in New York. And shout out to Kev, who actually helped me, you know, with the training. So I'm going to take everything I learned. I'm going to head up to New York and knock that out the park.
Yeah.
That's what
and, you know, it's so interesting because, I mean, like we've talked about that, how we look at those Marvel movies and we watch them jumping over cars and sliding under bridges and stuff like that. And, you know, we understand that there was a you know, commitment to training and maybe diet and physical activity that went into that. And so, you know, it kind of reminds me, like in basketball, how we may go to the Sixers game and say, hey, I want to do that one day. Well, I can do that. And we don't understand all the weight training, running the track, running up stadiums with weight vests on, and, you know, all the strenuous and, you know, commitment that went into it.
It's a lot that goes into it. And when I started training, I was like, oh my God. Yeah,
you was out. You was doing it. Oh my God. You was out there.
You know, like you said, I had to put in my head, one of my goals as an actress is to land a role with Marvel. Right. With, you know, the Justice League and different things like that. And you gotta be in shape to work with those guys. Yeah. You gotta be in shape. It's those roles are very physical. Yeah. And you have to be in shape.
Yeah. I mean, my encouragement would be, you know, to just try to live in shape and live a lifestyle of healthy living, eating, and getting sleep. And, you know, hit that track, hit the weight room. Yeah. And, because, you know, I remember, I heard a preacher or pastor say, sometimes God can't bring the opportunity because we're not ready for it.
Not ready.
You know, He can't bring the opportunity because we're not prepared.
That's right.
And so sometimes we got to get our butts out there by faith and start preparing and training with nothing in sight. While we wait for God to bring that thing, you know, to us. And like I said, I'm waiting for my basketball role. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm staying in shape. And, you know, it's always been a dream of mine of playing a basketball role, particularly with NBA players, but just a basketball role. And I am living in shape for my opportunity.
And you have to, because one of those things when I get that email from Marvel, I'm jumping up like, yes, because that's the email you want. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's what you want.
That's right.
So, and I'm here for all of it. So I can't wait. So Saturday, I'm going to be heading up the highway to do what it's going to do so I can land this role. That's my whole point of going up there, and that's my agenda.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. I mean, for me, same thing, man. Just, you know, staying on the grind, continuing to, you know, get my lines down, develop my characters, just waiting to, film some things and just going over my lines, man, and developing my character and doing my scene analysis and just trying to, perfect that so I can go on set and put forth my best effort and be the best believable me, man. And that's it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. And you want to tell them about our interview?
Oh, girl, you can tell them. Yeah.
Yeah, we were interviewed on TV.
RNV TV?
Yes.
Is it RNV or RVN?
RVN.
Yeah, RVN TV with Bob Charger. Yeah. It was great.
That was fun.
Yeah,
that
it was a lot of fun. It really was.
A lot of fun.
Very, very positive. And that interview will air this Friday at 9:30. And so we'll be posting that in our show page and on our individual page. So you can check that out. We definitely want to give a shout out to Miss Joyce Mitchell.
Yes, Miss Joyce. She get the bell. Yes, Miss Joyce.
Yeah, Miss Joyce Mitchell. And she was the one who passed our names on.
Yes.
To Mr. Bob Charger.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm going to tell you what I liked about it. I liked the fact how we got there and we sat on the couch and we had our interview and different things. Like, I think that's fun because that's how it be on television when you're watching them being interviewed.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's how they do on talk shows.
That's how they
do it.
It
was a lot of fun. And we went on there and just talked about our acting journey, our radio show, and things like that. It was a lot of positivity.
A lot of fun.
And shout out to Mr. Bob Charger.
Yes.
For, all the things that he's doing, for having us on the show as well. We got to give him the bell, too.
He get the bell. Yes, Bob Charger.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's it. So other than that, as we've been sharing with you guys each week, there was a film that Nikki and I were in that we filmed up in the New York area. It was formerly called Sarah. Now it's called Every Time I Die. And it is premiering. The world premiere is going to be at the CineQuest Film Festival, March the 8th, 2019, plus 3 more screenings. Friday, March the 8th, 2019 at 950 California Theater, San Jose, 345 South 1st Street, San Jose, California, 95113. Then Sunday, March the 10th, 7 o'clock, Century 20, Redwood City, Screen 17, 627, 825 Middlefield Road, Redwood City, California, 94063. Then we got Tuesday, March the 12th, at 5 o'clock p.m., Century 20, Redwood City, Screen number 3, 627, 825 Middlefield Road, Redwood City, California, 94063. And then Friday, March the 15th, 2019 at 10 o'clock p.m. Hammer Theater at San Jose State University, 101 Paseo de San Antonio, San Jose, California, 95113. So if you are on the West Coast, go check us out. You might see some familiar faces.
Yes, you and shout us out when you do. Hey, I saw Kevin and Nikki.
That's right.
You did.
So, we played nurses. So look for us. And this is going to be what we believe and what's been said to us, a pretty big promotion movie. And it's going to have some East Coast runs as well. We'll keep you guys posted about that. So we're going to take a break?
You know
all
what?
Right,
listen, y'all.
Listen up, y'all.
Wait, we ain't got no more adventures. That's it?
That's it.
That's all we got?
That's it.
Oh, my.
That's all the adventures got. We just, we in the lab.
All right, we're in the lab.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I like that.
We're in the lab.
I like that. We're in the lab.
Yeah,
okay.
That's right. Even when it appears that we don't have nothing going on,
we always have something going on. I like that. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. We're in the lab.
You know what
creating stuff.
That's it.
You know what? You get the bell. You get the bell. We in the lab.
We in the lab. You know what I'm saying? What's that song? Back in the lab again. I forget.
I don't know what he talking about.
Oh man.
I don't know what he talking about.
Yeah.
Back in the lab again.
I'm back in the lab. So it was a song talking about being back in the lab again. What? So yeah.
Is that old school rap?
I think it is old school rap.
Old school rap? All right. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Our adventures are over.
Well, just for the day.
Just for the day.
But as Star Wars says, the saga continues.
The saga continues. Okay.
So we're going to take a break?
We're going to take a break. But before we do, man,
listen, to all our listeners out there, we are very, very honored, blessed, privileged to have a legend.
Legend.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so excited.
We got a legend on our show tonight.
Yes.
He's a martial arts legend. Stunt coordinator and much, much more. We're not going to say who he is just yet. When we come back, we're going to introduce him. But I'm telling you, I am excited. I'm excited because I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm a fan of martial arts. I've seen just about every kung fu movie.
Remember back in the day when they used to have it on every Saturday?
Yeah, it was Kung Fu. Was it Kung Fu Saturday?
Kung Fu Saturday.
Yeah.
All you saw was martial. I'm talking about the 5 deadly venoms.
Oh, you know we got to talk about
Into
that.
the Dragon.
Yeah, you know we got to talk about. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna throw one out that you might have not heard. Kung Fu Zombie. Did you see that one?
I've seen that.
Oh, you saw that one? Okay.
Yes.
But look, check this out. I'm gonna go a step further. I remember when I was little, me and my brother was little. One of the requirements was that we had to go to church on Sunday.
Yeah.
So after church, we would go down to the Capitol on Girard Avenue in Philly, and that's when they would play 2 movies. And and on Sunday it was kung fu movies back to back.
Yeah, I remember.
And we went for years, and I'm gonna tell you, I've seen just about every kung fu martial arts movie out. But I gotta say that 5 Deadly Venom is my all-time favorite.
My all-time favorite.
And listen, our special guest. He got some inside information about.
So I gotta do the join of how it was in my house on Saturday when the kung fu movies would come on. So you think you wanna fight me?
You wanna fight me?
You wanna fight me?
You wanna fight me, you bastard?
Oh, you gonna?
And look, that's what they used to say. Yeah. And then it was like, you know, they would when they would. Yeah. And then when they would jump in the air, it was like, yeah, it was great, man. But I'm a fan, and I'm very, very excited to talk to our special guest and listen to all our listeners out there.
Yes,
we are honored to have a legend on the Kevin and Nikee Show. You're gonna want to hear his story. It's very, very fascinating, very, very intriguing, and I'm gonna kind of put a teaser out there. When you think about. When you hear names like Fred the Hammer, Jim Kelly, Michael Jai White, his name is mentioned in that category.
How can it not be?
You know what I'm saying?
How can it not be?
Oh man! All right, so we're gonna take a break.
Let's get this.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're on iHeartRadio and all across the world. It's a worldwide premiere. We'll be right back.
Nobody's going nowhere.
this
post that video
in the show page.
Yes.
And also the tribute video to our special guest in our show page, so y'all can see how this brother gets down.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, I would all that right there, I wouldn't fight him.
Oh no question.
I'm like, you know what, I'm good.
Oh well, listen.
I'm good.
And we're gonna talk about this on the show. But one of the things Jackie Chan said, the best fights are the ones you don't have to fight. So that, I would be happy to walk away from that.
I would be happy to walk away from that.
So anyway, all right. So our special guest is none other than Robert Bobby Samuels.
Nice.
He is a multi-award-winning American martial artist. Okay. Now listen, he won 6 HBO Cinemax UAS awards, Best Web Series. Special thanks to R4 Films and Team One Take Action Designs. But he was a fan of martial arts and Hong Kong cinema, following in the footsteps of Jim Kelly and Ron Van Cleef. Samuels got his first role on the movie The Gambling Ghost, where he played a minor bad guy. But his knowledge of martial arts and enthusiasm made an impression on the legendary, and we're going to talk about this guy, Sammo Hung, who would later give him his biggest role in Don't Give a Damn, before introducing him to Yuen Hu Pang, who hired him to play one of the terrorists trying to take over the cruise liner in The Red Wolf. Samuels would then appear as an extra in Teddy Robbins' Hong Kong Graffiti before leaving Hong Kong to break into the American industry. Now I'm going to give y'all some trivia. All right. African-American actor, stunt coordinator, and martial artist who lived briefly with the legendary Sammo Hung, leading him into working with prolific Hong Kong star on numerous occasions. He often played villains and gang members. Lawrence Fishburne observed Samuels' persona on the set of The Matrix and modeled his performance as Morpheus on Samuels' character and spirituality. Samuels was the first African-American member of the prestigious Hong Kong Stuntmen's Association, HKSA, and sits on its boards of director to this day. No. According to the interviews with Samuels himself, he was up for the role of Jackson in American Ninja, but lost out to Steve James and as second choice for Wesley Snipes' role in Passenger 57. He is that good. Samuels also formed the only professional Western martial arts and stunt team working in Hong Kong, G7, known as Guelo 7. Members of the team worked on Don't Give a Damn, The Quest, and The Red Wolf. Now check out some of his credits. All
right, now check out these credits. Now we got a few things coming out this year, 2019. We got Made in Chinatown. He's going to be playing Special Agent Johnson #2. Be on the lookout for Made in Chinatown. Also, be on the lookout for John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. He's going to be playing Bobby Long in that. Also, he played in Yes, Auntie TV series 2019. Be on the lookout for that. 2018 Final Contact, another TV series. He played an agent. 2013 Last Days, the Saga Tournament. He played an instructor. 2006 A Melody Looking Restaurant Manager. 7 Mummies. We want to talk about the mummies.
Yeah,
we want to talk about that. Crypt Mummy. 2003 Secret War. He played Tyrone. 2001 Blazing. He played Max. And listen to this. 1995, he played Hu Ming Wee Long. You thought I was going to mess that up, but I did not. He played Bobby
the drummer. Yeah.
And 1995, Hong Kong Graffiti, Jim Kelly.
1995, Don't Give a Damn. I like that.
He played Bobby. 1991, Hong
Fu Ji Time.
Luann's bodyguard.
There you go.
Now, I thought I was going to mess that up, but I didn't.
That's right. And then he has, of course, stunt credits. He got director credits. Yes. He got writer, producer
so
credits, cinematographer, and then, of course, he got to play himself.
He get the bell.
He get the bell before he come on.
He get the bell. He get the bell. He gonna be teaching me how to. I can't wait. Yes.
We are talking to none other than Mr. Bobby Samuels.
Yes.
How you doing, man?
How y'all doing?
All right,
how
are you?
Hey man, look, we are very, very honored, thankful, blessed to have you on, the legend himself. And thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, man, to come share with us and our listeners.
Absolutely, 100%. I appreciate it.
Most definitely.
Yes. Well, you know
Well,
what?
we got a lot to talk about, man. We want to jump.
It's a great time, Black History Month. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you, man.
Yeah, so we want to jump
We
right
want to jump right
into
on
it.
into it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So tell our listeners a little bit about how did you get started with martial arts, and describe the kind of art that you,
like the school of training.
your school of training.
Of your martial arts. Yeah. How did you get started?
Right.
Yeah.
I started when I was actually 9 years old.
Wow.
Studying Kung Fu.
Okay.
And as you can see, I've been practicing Kung Fu for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I always, I went to see a film years ago. It was called Five Fingers of Death.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Movie ever in the United States, right? And there was a gentleman in there, Lole, and I said to myself after when I watched that movie, I was hooked. I said, not only am I going to do these movies, but I'm actually going to work with this guy one day. And 20 years later, my first film was with him.
Wow.
Nice.
Man, that's definitely inspirational and encouraging.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Okay. Now, we here at the Kevin and Nikee Show, we do our research. We tell our guests, not in a creepy way, but just so we can get information, to talk to you and ask you questions. Now, I watched the soundbite for you, and you gave your story about how you just packed up and went to Hong Kong. Mm-hmm. You were pretty much by faith. Your family thought that you was crazy. When you got there, you didn't know anybody. You started visiting restaurants to try to find out where the studios are. Please tell our listeners, and you end up meeting and working with the legendary Sammo Hung. Please tell our listeners about that story. It's so intriguing, so fascinating, so inspirational.
Well, yeah, I always wanted to get into movies, and I knew that facilitating, my trip to Asia would be very difficult because it's expensive to go overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I said, one way I could do it was I'll get a job with the airlines. That way I knew I could fly for free as an employee.
Yeah.
And when I got my vacations, I used that to facilitate my moves in and out of Asia.
Wow.
So every year when I got a vacation, I would end up going and testing the waters in Asia. Then I would come back and work another year, and the following year I get an extra week's vacation. I'd go back to Hong Kong. So it was kind of relentless for me. It's what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Finally, after about 5 years of back and forth, actually U.S. Air was going to, they were going through layoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
I went to Hong Kong that particularly last year before they were going to lay us off, and I met a gentleman. His name was Paul Chang, and he said that what's a black guy doing in Hong Kong? I said, well, I want to do movies, and he said, well, I can introduce you to somebody that could possibly help you.
Wow.
Later that night, he introduced me to Sammo Hung.
Yes.
I was starstruck. I had all these photos with me because it was all a plan. I said, when I get this opportunity, I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to be ready when it comes.
There you
I
go.
sat down with him and I showed him the photos, and he said, okay, these are nice pictures, but can you fight? I said, wow, yeah, I can fight, but I'm not you. I mean,
I know that's right.
Dragon with Bruce Lee,
Right. He was into the dragon. You're right.
But,
Wow.
Right. So at that point, we had our little meeting, and then he went about his way. I went back to my area, and that evening while I'm having dinner with Paul, the phone rings, and it was Sammo. And Sammo said, well, I'm thinking about changing the ending of the film that I was working on. It was called Gambling Ghost. Mm-hmm. And so he said, I'm going to feature you in it. So he featured me in it.
Wow.
And then, we shot that film, and of course, that was where the film I did, where I told you, Lole from Five Fingers of Death was in it, James Tien from Fist of Fury with Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
A whole list of Hong Kong luminaries were in that film.
Yes.
Now, I finished that film a little early, and producers owed me $5,000. So they said
Wow.
they asked me if I could forfeit the money. I said, well, I'll forfeit the money on one condition, if you allow me to speak to Sammo Hung.
There you go.
So I went over, I spoke to him, because we weren't very close at that time. I said, listen, we finished early. They want me to forfeit the money. I said, but I will forfeit it on one condition. And he said, what is that? I said, if you allow me the opportunity to work with you again in the future. He said, you're willing to give up $5,000 US dollars just to work with me again? I said, I'd give up the whole paycheck. It doesn't matter.
There you go.
And he said, deal. He said, deal. So after we did that, I came back to the U.S. for another year. That second year, they were actually going to lay me off. And I called Samo, and he said, no, take the first flight back out. So I started to get a round-trip ticket, but I knew that if I got that round-trip ticket, if things got difficult in Hong Kong, I would just cash in and come home.
Right.
So I knew that it was all or nothing at this point. So I only bought the one-way ticket because I said the only way I'm going to get back to the United States is if I earn my way back, which means I need to be working. So when I got to Hong Kong, Samo immediately took me to the immigration department. They put me on file as his English interpreter, and from that point on, he signed me to his film company, and that was where it all began for me.
Wow.
Now
that's amazing.
That's an amazing story. It's very inspirational.
Yeah.
Very motivational. You definitely see the faith element there. And, you know, and please tell a part about how you had to get the 3 signatures in order to be a part of the film production. How, you know, you were going to the various different restaurants and, they would tell you that the Shaw Brothers, production was in town. Please tell that part as well and what you had to do to get the 3 signatures. And I think it got bumped up to 4 by the end.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So while I was there in Hong Kong with Samo, the first 2 years that I was there with him, actually I wasn't doing anything. He was just, I was just with him everywhere. I was more or less his assistant.
Okay.
But again, I just wanted to do movies and things like that. But what I didn't realize at the time that he was kind of grooming me and making me a public figure in Hong Kong by allowing me to be everywhere he went.
Oh,
so it was a plan that he had. So I went around at Golden Harvest and Shaw Brothers, and nobody wanted to talk. But then when Samuel said something, then that was it. You know?
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Wow.
We did a film called Don't Give a Damn.
Uh-huh.
And I always wanted to join the Hong Kong Stunters Association.
Okay.
Because that's an elite action group, the best in the world, between Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
You know, he was part of the Hong Kong Stunters Association, so they've never had any African Americans. So I said, well, you know what? That's one ticket I'd like to punch.
There you go.
First. And you know, I tried, and what I found out was that you needed 3 signatures from top quality action directors in Hong Kong just to even be considered to join into the Hong Kong Stunters Association. So we were filming a scene for Don't Give a Damn, and it called for a major scene where I had to actually do a mad dash across 100 yards across the field, leap over a 15-foot fence, over onto an embankment on the side of a hill, down the hill, and leap into the back of a moving vehicle.
Wow.
All in one take.
Wow.
And Samo and the rest of the action directors, they were saying, Americans, they really can't do that kind of action. I said, no, I'll do it.
Right.
And they all started taking bets. They was like, he's not going to do it.
They started taking bets.
They were preparing the Chinese actors, you know, to dress them up black and all this. I said, no, I'm going to do it.
Right.
So, and it was one take. They set up 100 track of feet in the street. And when he called action, I just ran, boom, did it, bang, landed, went into the back of it, and you could hear crickets after that.
Oh, yeah.
So I got the 3 signatures that I needed, and Lau Ka Leung, who used to do all the early Shaw Brothers films, his brother Lau Ka Wing was there, and he said, you know what? You only need 3, but I'm going to give you 4.
Wow.
And there were 4, and I became the first and only African-American Hong Kong stuntman.
Wow.
That is
he get the bell for that.
He gotta get the bell. He gotta get it.
That is awesome,
yes,
man.
Gotta get the bell.
Yeah, and for our listeners who don't know who the Shaw Brothers, they were the ones that made the Kung Fu cult classic 5 Deadly Venom.
My movie.
That's my favorite
movie.
Kung Fu movie. Nikki's favorite Kung Fu movie of all time. And with that said, we definitely got to talk about that because they had the urban action.
I know all the Venoms. They're all my good friends.
Nice.
Well, you just go then. That's awesome. You're like, well, they all just my good friends.
All my friends.
Listen, but that's huge. I mean, these guys are legends.
Yes.
These guys are legends.
I would say that is one movie that I would watch over and over.
That's what makes it
never gets old. It's a classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the Toad, Lo Mom, I just finished directing him in a multi-million-dollar film here in the United States in Philadelphia. It's a film called Made in Chinatown. It's with
I heard about that. I saw it on Facebook. I heard about that.
Lo Mang's first American film outside of Hong Kong and Shaw Brothers.
Nice.
Just recently, Liu Fang, the other Venom, and Sun Chen, they're all my good friends. Unfortunately, we lost Chang Shang. He's the only one of the 5 that are not alive right now.
Okay.
We're talking about doing a remake of Venoms. We're probably going to approach Netflix to make it a series.
Really?
We'll modernize it, and we'll use American actors, but we'll also bring in Lo Mang and Liu Fang and all the rest of them to be the coaches of the American actors to pass the torch on.
I got you.
Really?
Okay. Now, see, this is good. This is good news because this is great news because Nikee and I, we were talking. We hope that somebody does the remake of the 5 Deadly Venoms.
We sure
This generation needs to see this movie. It is a kung fu cult classic, one of the best kung fu movies ever made. And yeah, man. And you know what? We just gonna put our bid in now. If you need some thugs, you know what I'm saying? If you need some thugs, some gangsters, if you got wigs and makeups, listen.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
I've been talking to Lo Mang and Liu Fang and Philip Kwok Choi, and we feel like we want to take it into another realm, meaning it's kind of difficult to kind of replicate an actual Shaw film in today's world. So we feel as though if we put a spin on it and make it modern, feature American cast, an ethnic cast, a Latino female, a black male, make it eclectic.
I got you.
Be more appetizing to the American audience. However, we would still include the Venoms as the trainers of the new Venoms.
They gotta be in there.
Yeah. And I definitely, got to add to that. I'm really, really so happy that you're on the show because I have a martial arts background. Like when I was younger, my mom and dad put us in karate and, I never had to use it. I'm definitely not on your level, but I still remember my katas and things like that. But it taught me self-control. It taught me discipline. I kind of got away from it to get into basketball and, got good at basketball. So I kind of took that journey, but so much so that I ended up playing professional in China. And I know that you met Jackie Chan, but I met Jackie Chan as well. So he was a special guest at our Christmas, our lead Christmas party. And so I'm sitting there eating some fruit and I turn around, I see Jackie Chan and I'm like, this is my favorite. He is my favorite action hero, actor, superstar. And I couldn't find a piece of paper. So what I did was I whiffed all the fruit down that was on the plate and turned around and got him to sign the back of the plate. And so I went to shake his hand. After that, and the newspaper snapped the picture. I still have the pictures to this very day. In fact, I posted them on, I posted them on Facebook.
Nice.
But I had the chance to talk to him briefly, and I kind of want you to comment on this. Of course, I was kidding around, like, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I was kidding around with him. And, but I went on to ask him, I knew that Bruce Lee would get into these confrontations where he was just walking through town and they would, challenge him. Jackie said he had been through the same thing. Twofold question. I was wondering if you had been through that, but Jackie also said, he told me, the best fights are the ones you don't have to. And a lot of times people think about martial arts is that ability to be ready to break somebody's arm. But it really is about self-defense and not having to fight, but only fighting when you have to fight. So I just wanted you to comment on that, because if these kids today, especially, could learn the strength of walking away or avoiding a fight, we wouldn't have as many killings and shootings and things like that. So twofold, did you ever have to face people, recognizing who you were? You're around the great legendary Sammo Hung. Did you get challenged on the streets of Hong Kong? And talk about that walking away.
Yeah, so I'll share a quick story with you. One day I was in Hong Kong. I had been there now for about 3 years. And I was actually at a nightclub. And I was in there, and I was a regular in there. The Chinese people knew me, they knew I was with Sammo. I was, at that time, kind of well known in Asia. A boat had came in from the Navy. So they came in, and all the Navy guys, and they wanted to have fun and party in the the clubs and everything. So I was in there, and they started looking at me like, why is this guy got all the women? And we're here, and we want the women, you know? So at that point, it was a little, you know, who are you, you know? And then the big N word came out. So
oh wow!
At that time, I was the only I was by myself. There were no other blacks with me in Asia, you know, but everybody else was Asian. So they were telling me that, you know, when I left the club, they were going to do things to me and things of that nature. So, you know, so as I was about to leave the club, I had already prepared myself that I was actually going to have to fight mentally because it was about 12 or 13 of them, which at my level I could probably handle. But,
okay.
You know, I'm going. You know, I'm not going to say I'll defeat everybody, but somebody's going to the hospital.
I know that's right.
I'm going to get one of y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when I went outside and I started walking, they came out and they were like, hey, you remember? Boom. As I turned around, I saw them, and they were making their comments to me, and what they didn't realize was that behind them, there were 30 Asian people.
Oh,
you know
wow.
what I mean?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Right, exactly.
Mm-mm-mm.
And at that point, I told them to turn around. And what was behind them, they kind of cowered and went back on and enjoyed themselves. But at that point, I realized that, you know, wow, you know, I'm living in this country. I am a black man. But I was accepted amongst the Asian community.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually came out to protect me. They came out to protect me.
Yeah.
The club owner came out and said, we know you. We know who you are. And there's nothing going to happen to you in Hong Kong.
And you know,
at that point, I realized that you know what power I had in Asian cinema.
Yeah,
and I just got to add this because I know, like when I was over there playing basketball, you're so right. When you first get there, it's like, what is an African American doing here? And so one thing I learned about, and I love Asian culture, they're very untrusting at first. But if you make a friend, you make a friend for life. But if you make an enemy, you make an enemy for life. And I was told that by an Asian man.
Wow.
Right.
And so
I think that I prepared myself well because before I even entered Asia, I had been studying how to speak Chinese.
Okay.
So that I knew that when I went there, I would go to auditions here.
Okay.
Lawrence Fishburne would show up, Wesley Snipes, and I really couldn't get noticed because all the heavyweight actors would show up.
Yeah.
So at that point, I had made the decision to go to another country, make a name for myself, and then come back to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's another quick anecdote. I came back in '97 when the communists took over the country.
Okay.
We reverted back to China rule because it was under British rule for 150 years.
right.
Yeah.
I was doing a small film in New York. It's called Ultimate Master, and I'm sitting in a van. And it's my first U.S. production back in the U.S. And I'm looking, and next thing you know, I'm looking down the street, and I see the Beastie Boys walking up the street.
The Beastie Boys?
Like, yes, the Beastie Boys, right?
Whoa.
And as soon as I saw them, I'm getting ready to get out the car to speak to them, and they just scream, Bobby Samuel. And I look, I'm like, wait a second, something's not right here with this picture. Like, how did you know me? I know you, but how do you know me? But all of my films had been seen on the underground back when, you know, VHS tapes and things of that nature were out, and they were huge Hong Kong movie aficionados. So I didn't realize that, you know, they were fans of mine.
Wow.
Wow.
Fans of their music. So they were actually coming to the set to see me. They said, "No, we came to see you, man." And I was just floored at that point. But if you believe in something and you chase your dreams, anything is possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I grew up in West Philly. You know, my mother and father divorced when I was 2. My father was the first black banker on Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
But my mother was a nurse in Philadelphia, and I primarily stayed with my mom. But these dreams I had were from an early age, and if I can do it, if I can go to another country and make a name for myself, any of these young people today, if they just have the internal discipline, they can achieve greatness as well. And I think that's really what's lacking for our youth today. It's so easy to hit a button and blow someone's head off.
Right.
You know, back when I was growing up, there were no games like that. I mean, you had your Atari and your Nintendo, but nothing like it is now. So children today, I feel, are desensitized to the level of violence that back in the day we'd run. Okay, you hit somebody, as soon as you saw blood, oh, it's leaking, let's go.
Right.
Now it's a different era. It's a different generation, and because
Right.
So, which is kind of sad. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there to you guys.
He's in What's Bothering Nikee now.
Yeah. That was good stuff. That was good stuff.
Nice.
And I got to give a shout out to our brother Kevin J. Sheaf, man, who he was the one who put me in contact with Rob. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Kevin and I went to high school together.
Right.
West Catholic for boys. We were in the same class all throughout our years. I didn't play sports. He didn't play sports, but we liked kung fu and martial arts. Karate kids, as they called us.
Yeah.
And for many years, Kevin would come to my home and in my basement, and we would train. And Kevin has been there from the inception. Of me trying to achieve this dream. Right.
And
for the record, the guy never ages. I can't.
He sure doesn't. He sure doesn't. He looks great.
I love him dearly. He's a great man. He's always been a supporter of mine. And likewise, me of him.
And I remember Kev, he was telling me this one story about somebody who was kind of getting irate with him one time in public. And he was like, Kev, he said, if that man would have hit me, it wasn't going to go well for him. I'm a 6th-degree black belt, you know what I'm saying? But he mentioned that, showing that restraint and showing, being calm and controlling the situation with peace and things like that. But the confidence is knowing I can walk away in humility because I know who I am and I know it ain't going to go good for you if we get into this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Now, just to name a few of the greats, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, Jim Kelly, who would you say is your greatest influence?
That would have to be a twofold question. Okay, we'll go here first.
Okay.
Sammo Hung, who allowed a black man to not only move to Asia, but live in his home with them.
Nice.
Because I lived in his house with them, so that was he's like a father to me,
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Really. But for being a young African American male growing up during the 80s, Jim Kelly was my hero.
Yeah.
Nice.
Black Belt Jones.
Jim Kelly, Black Belt Jones.
That's right. Yeah.
Potato, anything he did, and Ron Van Cleef. I recently was so honored. Urban Action Showcase, I think last year, and they surprised me. The Jim Kelly's family gave me the first Jim Kelly Lifetime Achievement Award.
Wow,
nice.
So his family has never given any awards, and I was the first recipient. And that right there was very emotional for me. Because out of all the accomplishments that I've had, he was the one person that I never met. That I've always wanted to meet.
Yeah.
And to be the recipient of, the Jim Kelly Lifetime Achievement Award was I can't even put it in the words.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's a rest in peace, Jim Kelly, man.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
But Ron Van Cleef, he's still around. It's my godfather. Him and I did a film in '96, Blazing, with Fat Joe, and from that point on, he's been like my godfather, and he's given me life's lessons, because he truly is the Black Dragon.
Yeah,
wow.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna say this. I mean, legendary Sammo Hung letting you, live in his home.
That's awesome.
That's like Denzel letting Omari Hardwick stay in his house.
Yeah.
But I think Sammo Hung is on a bigger level.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Enter the Dragon. Come on now.
Yeah.
With Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just trying to get our audience to kind of understand how big this is.
Equated to this, he's a Steven Spielberg.
That's even better.
That's even better.
That's even better. He is a legend.
James Cameron, that lets you know what level he's
at.
Yeah.
That's as high as it go right there.
Wow.
Sammo Hung.
That's amazing.
But I got to talk about. I want to make a comment too. Like I know when I was over in China, I made effort as an African American to learn the culture. So my teammates would help me with certain words, and they really appreciate when you humble yourself and try to learn their culture. I can eat with chopsticks, and they really appreciate that. And because they're very, very. They have so much pride in their culture. You know what I'm saying? And some things.
Their culture is preserved. preserved for hundreds and hundreds of years. So remember, they can be traced back to the Tang and the Ming Dynasty.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And one of the things I learned when I was over there is that a lot of things fellowship centers around food. And you know, family and food and fellowship, and it was just so great. I learned a lot. When I was over there, I could speak fluent, you know, Mandarin. I still know some of my words and some phrases, but like I can say "Ni hao ma, ni xiao shen ma menza." You know, I can speak a few words and stuff like that, a few sentences. But it was just great learning that the world is bigger than Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. But man,
I don't speak Mandarin. I actually speak Cantonese.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's the more difficult.
That's the difficult one. Yeah.
It has 9 tones and Mandarin has 4.
And you know what? To your point, if you say ta, one means potato. If you say ta, one means fork. So if you don't put the right octave on it, they can think you're talking about something else.
Okay.
So you don't want to ask somebody for a potato. Yeah. So that Cantonese is very, very difficult. Yeah, very, very difficult. And Mandarin has, I think, want to say 6 dialects. And I don't know what dialect I was speaking. I was trying, but I was able to live and survive and, you know, ask for stuff and order food and things like that. But it was great, man. So yeah, we international, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's right, bro.
You have to be.
I love it.
That's right.
Yes, you have to be.
We got to talk about the Urban Action Showcase that was at Times Square, New York. It was the Saturday afternoon Kung Fu Theater, the Shaw Brothers Kung Fu classic. They were featuring Liu Fang from the Five Deadly Venom #1. It was the 40th anniversary. Please talk about that.
Oh wow! So I asked Lou. I said, you know, would you mind coming to America? I said, you have a lot of fans over here. They'd love to meet you. And he's like, absolutely. So he came out, and the fans were shocked. And he greeted everybody and spent time with them, signed autographs, and I just wanted the American audience to appreciate the Shaw Brothers era and the Five Deadly Venom boys, to actually have an opportunity to meet one.
Yeah,
nice.
Because these films had an indelible impression upon people growing up, and to this day it stays with people.
Right.
So it was a monumental event. Michael Jai White and Liu Fang got along well.
Yeah.
They talked about doing a project together. And then Liu Fang told the audience that he wants to do the Five Deadly Venoms remake. And he said, you know, he wanted me to direct it. So.
Wow.
Nice.
No, we also for the sidebar, we have an interesting friend that lives in New York that not many people used to know about, but they probably all do now. He's very close with Angela Mao.
Okay.
His sister from Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we actually took him to see her, and we all spent time together. So that was amazing too, to have Angela Mao Ying from Enter the Dragon and Liu Fang in one place.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Man, that's classic. That's epic.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that probably happens once if there's one blue moon, that was the blue moon right there. To have them two in the same room at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just bananas.
Absolutely.
That's bananas. Now you're preparing Australian Netflix International Film on Hong Kong Cinema. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Rick Myers, historian of martial arts movie, he's the man. He said to me, you know, there's an Australian film company, they're doing this huge Netflix project on Hong Kong cinema. Would you be interested? They'd like to talk to you about, you know, living in Hong Kong and working with Samuel and Yin Wu Ping. So I said, absolutely. So they contacted me. It's Great Bear Entertainment. It's a huge company in Australia.
Nice.
They got the budget through Netflix, and it will air sometime later this year.
Nice.
The United States interviews, because they did Cynthia Rothrock, Rick Myers, myself, a couple other luminaries, and now they're on their way to Hong Kong to interview Samo and Jackie and everyone else. But this is Netflix's first documentary detailing the rise of Hong Kong cinema, dealing with Shaw Brothers, Golden Harvest,
That's awesome.
All generations. So,
That's awesome.
I was honored to be a part of that. So look forward to that coming on Netflix, and it's Netflix International, so it'll be in 35 countries around the world.
Wow,
that's
that is
awesome.
Nice.
That's
that is
awesome.
Nice. You know, Rob, man, as I listen to your story and things like that, you put in a lot of hard work. 20 or more years. And I just want to say that we're happy for you to see you had a lot of great things, big things happen up until this point, but to get the, Netflix thing, I'm glad to see that it's going even to a higher level for you because you paid your dues, man.
Yeah.
You really, really paid your dues.
He get the bell.
You get the bell.
He get the bell again. Yes, get the bell.
Yeah.
Most importantly, I think the key to longevity, because, I was the #1 black actor in Asia for a lot of years, and, I parlayed that into stunt directing, and now I'm a film director, but the most important thing is to give people opportunities.
There you
Remember,
go.
during Gambling Ghost, when I forfeited that $5,000, if Samuel never gave me that opportunity, we wouldn't be having this conversation now.
Right.
So my major goal right now is I like to create these smaller projects to give young people an opportunity to be featured in films because they just don't have opportunities.
I got you.
With the digital realm and the digital age and streaming markets and things of that nature, it's so easy now to create quality content. And that's what I enjoy doing now, creating quality content. I developed that myself and my business partner, Robert Jefferson. We've been together for like 30 years. We developed the Final Context series, and we won 7 HBO awards.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I left one of the HBOs out. I said 6.
Yeah, a lot of the talent in there is unknowns, but they needed opportunities,
Right.
Consequently, one now was hired by Cirque du Soleil, and it's about helping the next generation. I'm truly blessed to have had the type of career that I had. And I'm not selfish, so I want to make sure that the next generation has an opportunity like I had. So I pride myself on making sure I give people opportunities.
Nice, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I really appreciate you saying that, man, because it reminds me of the old saying that some people plant a seed, some people water, a tree goes up, and others benefit from the shade.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about is young people benefiting from your shade. And I was watching I think it was the Wendy Williams show, and they had Wendy Williams is out right now, but
she's out sick.
They got Nick Cannon is the one hosting it now. And TV was on, so I left it on. And so I didn't know that you would have never heard of Nick Cannon if it wasn't for Keenan, the one from Saturday Night Live.
Keenan and Kel.
And he was telling the story about how Keenan, invited him into his home. He let him stay at his house. He gave him opportunities. And as I'm sitting there, because I was on my computer, but I'm listening to this in the background, I'm sitting up there saying, God, that's what we need. That's what we need. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then you start to feel like, because it's so, it's not that regular in this day and age due to, like what you said, the selfishness. You sit here and you say, man, if that don't happen, how far could I
have gone?
You know, how far could I have gone if I would have had, say, one more person in my basketball career? Or, even with, we're involved in acting, like Nikee and I, we're multi-award winning actors, but sometimes you just need that one person to believe in you, to give you opportunity. Like Rel Dodell, who's a good friend of ours, friend of the show. He gave Wood Harris and Russell Hornsby their first opportunity in Train Ride.
Yeah.
And now they're in Creed 2. Russell was in the Gift You was The Hate You Give. And
he's in a series.
And he's in a TV series. Yeah. And it all stemmed from one person giving somebody an opportunity, man. And I just wanted to tell you, I really appreciate what you're saying about giving, as opposed to saying, well, didn't nobody, I'm not going to do da. You know what I'm saying? And that's the norm.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'll never do that.
I got you, man.
I just did a gentleman, his name is Joey Min. He approached me. He has a huge following on the YouTube, and social media. So he said, would you be interested in doing a project with me? And I said, well, what is it? So he said, we sat day and night, we came up with the script, and the only person, we feel like can actually make this work would be you.
Nice.
But it was a challenge for me because it was something out of my comfort zone.
I got you.
What they wanted me to do, we'll just label it as a Medea, Kung Fu Medea.
Oh, was that the one where you had the wig on?
Yes.
Oh, I saw that.
My
Yeah, he had the silver wig on. He was kicking butt too. Nice.
Yeah. So but by that I mean I let my guards down and trusted in the next generation.
Yeah.
I'm a director, unproven, but I sat for hours, talked with him and his assistant, and the vision that they put forth. I said, you know what? These guys know what they're doing. Let me help them. If my image can help get this to another level, let's go for it.
I got you.
We did the series. We had a world premiere at Warrington Hudlin, producer of Boomerang House Party.
Right.
His place in Queens, next to Astoria Studios, and it was a sold-out audience, and everyone loved it. It was
nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thing in the world, crazy good action, throwback to the old Shaw Brothers era of Kung Fu.
Yeah.
And if I was not confident and willing to take chances, with myself, then I would have passed. I've been punching and kicking for 30 years and stuff. But I said, let me try some comedy. If Martin can do it for Big Mama and Medea and Tyler Perry can do it, let me try to do the Kung Fu.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it right there.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it had me cracking up. He had the silver wig on, and I mean, you was kicking butt, and it was great, man. But Rob, your story is so inspirational, so encouraging, so motivational. I feel inspired just having talked to you. We putting it out there, man. We want to work with you. We'll audition. We'll earn it. That goes without saying. Yeah, we will, man. I mean, and
all right.
Yeah, man. And
I got some things coming up. We'll definitely be in touch.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Awesome. But listen, man, we want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the show and share. I feel like we didn't get a chance to talk about everything, so we may have to have you back on again. Like I said, I grew up as a kid.
No problem.
Thank you, man. And Nikee grew up as a kid, being big fans of. I still got my 5 Deadly Venoms DVD. That's how far I go back. But just a kung fu fan. I was blessed. Like I said, you met Jackie Chan. I was able to meet him as well. That was a dream come true. But before we go, man, we always like to give our guests an opportunity to put your social media out there, how people can find you. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be contacting you after this interview.
Yes. For some training. Or for some stunt coordination or whatever, or perhaps to get cast.
So put your social media out if you so desire, how people can follow you and keep up with what you're doing and things of the sort.
Absolutely. Well, you can always subscribe to the R4 Films YouTube channel. Just R4 Films. You can't go wrong there.
Okay.
You can reach me at rjsamuels54@gmail.com. I'm really accessible. And, of course, Robert Samuels on Facebook, or Instagram is RJ lowercase and Samuels.
There we go.
Nice.
RJ_Samuel.
There you go.
And, just send me a message, and I definitely love to come back if you guys would like to have me. Not a problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome.
And you got our phone number, so lock it in. And we got your phone number, so we locking it in. Definitely keep in touch, man. And as we always say on the Kevin and Nikee Show, once you come on the Kevin and Nikee Show, your family. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm humbled and so appreciative of the love I receive from you guys and from everyone else. And again, for any young person out there wanting to get in this business, you must be internally disciplined.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
That's the only way to achieve it.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Self-discipline.
That's it. That's what karate taught us. That's what martial arts taught us. Self-discipline, self-control. That's right.
That's right.
Among a lot of other things. Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, man, continued success and blessings.
Yes.
And we will be keeping in touch with you. And please keep in touch with us.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care.
You guys have a great night.
You too.
You too. Bye.
Yeah. Man, that was awesome, man. Man, that was dope.
That was dope.
Oh my God.
Man,
listen, and we didn't even get a chance to talk about the legendary actor, directors that he worked with, James Liu, Art Camacho, Jason Liu. I mean, we definitely got to have him back.
We definitely have to have him back.
Goodness, man.
I just wanted to, ask him about, preparation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how does he, get in shape for that?
You have to live in shape.
And I know he's, probably, well, not probably, I know he's in shape.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
they live in shape.
What's his preparation?
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he went over there, like, he just went.
I mean, it was
and you got some people who don't even want to go around the corner.
They can't go to Center City straight from Philadelphia.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
He up and flies out. I mean, that's relocated himself. That's nuts. Wow.
Come on. That's the epitome of motivation.
He make me want to do it. I want to go to China, man.
Then they make you want to buy a ticket and just fly over there real quick.
I want to go there.
I mean, that's how it motivated you.
I mean,
it was more that went into it.
Motivation.
But it was definitely encouraging. Very inspirational.
Yeah.
A faith-driven story.
Yeah. That definitely takes faith.
Yeah.
To go over there like that,
absolutely.
That definitely takes faith.
Absolutely.
Like the word of God says, you step out, I'm right with you.
Yeah.
So,
and to go over there and not know anybody. Just start going in restaurant. And here's the kicker. You are African American. Yeah. So, I mean, it was just so motivational, so encouraging, so inspirational. And I just feel so honored, so blessed to have had the legend on the Kevin Nikee show. Yeah. And it was taking me back to my days over in China and my days as a kid going to, the Capitol on Girard Avenue on 52nd and Girard and seeing all the Kung Fu movies for years after church, man.
Remember they used to have the cart down in the gallery,
with all
the
Kung Fu
movies. I was buying these things like crazy, and then every Saturday, my brothers and I would sit and we watch the movies, and then try to emulate what we saw.
Oh, absolutely!
And be getting each other.
Man, listen, we used to go to the Capitol. Watch the double.
Not emulate, mimic what we saw.
Emulate, same thing. Same thing. So we go to the Capitol, we watch the double feature Kung Fu movies, and then we would come home and be like, "No, man, I'm the Toad, man. No, I'm Centipede." We used to try to do that. It was great, man.
I won from one movie, The Deadly Venoms. I got so motivated that I actually took a class. Okay. A karate class. And I was fine, what they were teaching me until the instructor took and cracked that board. Yeah, and I passed out.
This not my calling, right?
I passed out. They had to call my mama, come get me.
Man. I'll tell you. Nick, we were just talking not too long ago about we were hoping that somebody would do the remake of the, Five Deadly Venoms, and here it is. It's
I'm
like,
gonna be up in that joint.
Look, I'm trying to be up in that.
Listen, they can teach me. They can teach me what's the snake style,
the toad, lizard,
they can
scorpion.
Teach me.
Yeah,
I'll be up in that. Like,
it was great.
Come teach me, Bobby.
Yeah,
come teach me how to do it.
That's right. Listen, I actually ordered. I got a Five Deadly Venom, a black Five Deadly Venom T-shirt with all 5 guys' faces on it. Yeah. To this day.
Yeah, I saw it. You showed
man, me. I'm like this. I'm telling you, man. Me and my brother, we was like sold out Kung Fu dudes, man, for real, man.
But see that back in the day, that's what you did. Yeah. You sat in the house and you watched these classics. These kids today, I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah. And I love the message that he gave to the young people. Yeah. Basically what he was saying is, hey, I got opportunities for you, but it's going to take discipline and hard work. So we're not, we're not encouraging any laziness here.
Well, but some of them do lack discipline, and they're a little lazy. Yeah,
and something, and I thank God for my mom and dad who put us in various different activities to try to help us find our niche. And I actually won a medal. Me and my brother actually won medals for karate. I won a bronze medal for karate in the tournament. I think my brother won like a gold or a silver, and I really enjoyed it. So I started playing basketball.
I didn't win nothing because I was passed out on the floor from the teacher cracking that board.
Oh yeah, after he cracked the board,
because he was like, "This is what y'all gonna be learning." I was like, "Ooh, I'm done. That was it. You lost me." I passed out. They had to call my mom because the way the instructor did it, he just made it look so easy, and I'm like,
and that's years and years. Of training. That's years and years.
They
of training.
set it up for him because he was doing a demonstration. Yeah. They set it up for him, and he just took his time, did his thing with his hand, and said, "Pop!" Yeah. And I said, "Flop."
Yeah, I got you. And that's the thing too, man. I mean, that when you see somebody breaking boards, breaking ice like that is years and years of discipline and training and hours, multiple upon multiple hours of training that went into that. Wow. And man, I tell you this video I saw. Now, we know Bruce Lee was the man. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what? We definitely got to have him back because I meant to ask him about Ip Man. Ip Man was, or IP Man, Ip Man, he was Bruce Lee's teacher. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and one of my, and I failed to mention Donnie Yen on that list. Of course, you said Bruce Lee, Jim Kelly. You said Jet Li. We forgot to mention Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen is that.
You know what? Let's just have him back next week.
Yeah, we got to definitely, because I got so much I want to talk about. And Donnie Yen played Ip Man, and guess who he had to fight in Ip Man 3? Who? Mike Tyson. I got the DVD. He fought Mike Tyson, man. It was crazy. I'm excited, man.
Bobby get the bell again.
You get the bell again.
He get the bell again because you all revved up.
No, I'm excited, man. Listen, he taking me back. But yeah, we got to definitely have him back, man. Donnie Yen is that dude. We had to talk about Ip Man, but I saw this video of Bruce Lee. He was playing ping pong against one of China's top ping pong players. Mm-hmm. He was like the best in the country. Okay. But Bruce Lee was playing with nunchucks. He was hitting it back with nunchucks. He was like, he was swinging the nunchucks.
Because it's Bruce Lee.
But Nick, do you understand how that nunchuck is as thin as a broomstick? I know. And he's hitting it back like,
Bruce Lee is that dude.
And he beat him.
Yeah.
He beat the dude who had a paddle with nunchucks.
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee was that dude.
Okay, man. Bruce Lee is that dude.
Yeah, because he mixed a few styles and he added spirituality to it, and he came up with his own school of thought. And
listen, I'm sorry.
We can talk about this all day.
The way Bobby fights, you got Jackie Chan, you got Bruce Lee,
Jim Kelly, and you got Chuck Norris. You put all of them in one room, I would just walk out. Yeah. And like he would be mentioned in that conversation.
Yeah.
Jim Kelly, he would be mentioned in that conversation.
I would be scared to, if I was a guy, I would be scared to walk in a room and try and pick a fight with any of them.
I mean, yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
that's
and the guys
walk in and walk back out.
And you know what? I think I got the wrong room. I was supposed to go next door. You know,
I'm sorry. Yeah. I apologize right now, and I didn't even do anything yet. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, that's the walk in and walk right back out.
That's it. But man, I could talk about this. I could talk about this all day. This was the love and passion of mine growing up, and still is to this day, man. So it brought back a lot of memories, and oh man, it was just great.
Awesome interview. Yeah, awesome interview.
Yeah, awesome.
It's so awesome. I just want to keep talking about it. I don't want to stop. But I know we have to.
We got stuff we got to cover. So what? We gonna take a break?
Yes, and we got to make sure we put that.
We're gonna put the tribute. He has a tribute to him video.
Put that up on
we're gonna put it on the show page. And also,
and we gotta put the video up there with him doing all that fighting and stuff.
Yeah. He got a tribute video, and then he has the Bobby Samuels 2014.
Yeah. I want to put both of them up there so they can see him in action, kicking butt, and taking names. And
you're gonna see the legendary Sammo Hung. He's in there.
Yes.
And you know the stunt that he was describing that he had to do to get the signature. Yeah. He actually does that in one of the films. It was. Man, I mean, I got tired.
You guys, you got to see it. Woo. You got to see it. Yeah. You got to see these videos. I mean,
look, go to our show page, and you will see what we're talking about.
Yes. Go to our show page, Kevin Nikee Show on Facebook, and you'll see these videos that we're going to put up for you, and check it out. I mean, it's fire. It's fire. It's
absolutely.
Fire.
Oh, man. So we're going to try to take a break?
We're going to try to take a break. And you know what? I got one more time. One more time.
You get the bell?
Super awesome.
That was dope.
Super awesome.
That was dope.
Super awesome.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yes. All right. So you know what? We're going to take a break.
And we come back, we're going to have...
And when we come back, it's going to be time for
News and Sports. Scholar's professional editing firm consists of a specialized group of academic doctors, editors, and statisticians that keep doctoral candidates moving through the academic doctoral process by providing one-to-one group mentorship and all-inclusive editorial services that produce writing advancements that result in exponential movement. The scholars conduct line-by-line editing, proof and copy editing, university-specific format, compliance, and substantive done-for-you services on the following documents: doctoral thesis, dissertation, capstone projects, research studies, research proposals, research papers, and oral defense preparation and presentations. The Scholar Professional Editing Group keep you moving For information on editorial services, our doctoral accelerated mentorship program, visit www.thescholarseditting.com, www.thescholarsedediting.com, or contact Dr. Haynes at 281-315-6053. All right. Wow, that was good, man.
Listen, it was so dope. We didn't want to stop talking about it. That's how dope it was.
He's a legend, man.
Mm-hmm.
We had a legend on our show. And
it made me want to sing that song. Everybody was
Kung Fu Fighting. We should have played that.
His kicks was fast
as lightning. We should have. We gotta play that.
It was a little bit frightening.
Yo, we should have played that. Oh man, yeah.
Love it. We'll fit it in. We'll definitely fit it in. All right. So news and sports. All right, now it's time for news and sports.
So I'm just gonna cut it down to one sports story because I'm so hyped. So I'm just gonna get through this one story. Okay. So in sports, it's been Manny Machado mania.
Yeah.
So last week, the San Diego Padres made the boldest move of the offseason, signing free agent infielder Manny Machado to a long-term contract worth, y'all better sit down and listen to this, $300 million over the next 10 years, guys.
What?
The Padres' lack of recent success is no secret. They haven't enjoyed a winning season since 2010 and haven't appeared in the postseason since 2000 and they haven't enjoyed a winning season since 2010 and haven't appeared in the postseason since 2006, which gives the Machado signing an extra oomph. It isn't just an opportunistic signing. It's a flag planting demonstration to inspire the fan base. The next big step for the Padres is to offer a winning season, and they're projected to come close with 79 wins forecasted by both Baseball Prospectus and Fangraphs. Sportsline has them finishing last in the NL West with 69 wins. Eventually, the Padres will have to become serious contenders or risk losing the goodwill they've conjured. So we're well-meaning by nosy. So we figured we help the Padres' cause by offering 4 pieces of instructions to the Padres as they embark on the Machado era. I'm going to stop right there.
Oh.
$300 million over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
Woo!
You know what?
Awesome sauce.
Listen, that's
a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
What's his address?
What's the address again?
What's the address?
Yeah, man. And I just want to add that. I also want to add that Bryce Harper sweepstakes is in the running right now too, and he was kind of staring down the barrel of a $300 million contract. And guess who's in the running to get Bryce Harper?
Who?
The Philadelphia Phillies. They got a shot. So we're going to keep you guys posted on the Bryce Harper sweepstakes. And he's from New Jersey, grew up a Philadelphia Phillies fan. And if we can land him, we could be talking World Series again.
Wow.
Yeah. That's all I got in sports. That's it. That's all I got. I'm happy, man.
You know what? I hear.
You can always tell what my mood is, how I say in sports.
He done had a legend on the line, and now he's beside himself.
Robert Sanders, man.
Yes.
Bobby Sanders.
Know what? In news, Jussie Smollett.
Oh boy.
Oh, you know what, Kev? This story hurt my heart. I'm telling you, it hurt my heart because I remember how many people, were in his corner about what happened. He said he was beat up. He said he had a noose tied around his neck, and he said he was beat up by, 2 white people. And turned out that wasn't even the case. Wasn't even the case. He hired. Oh my goodness. This story is upsetting me.
Yeah.
He hired the 2 extras on the show Empire to rough him up a little bit. Why? Because he wanted more money.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wanted more money.
Yeah. And then some new facts are coming out as well, because I was watching one of those what was those shows where they kind of give you
TMZ.
TMZ, and they had pictures of text messages,
Man.
and they had pictures of the check stub,
Yes.
and they were saying that on the check stub it had for training.
Yeah, because he tried to say that he had the money, the $3,500 that he paid out, the $3,000 that he paid out, he paid it out.
You said it right,
for
$3,500.
It was the $3,500. The $3,500 that he paid out for training.
Right.
But the people like, nope, that ain't so, because on the check it said for training to the boys, and and they also got a text message from the two boys saying, remember, go and do cardio for 45 minutes.
Right.
You know, so that when you come out, you know, everything go down.
Right.
I mean, I'm just, you know.
And the thing about it is, and I know there were a lot of people who were disappointed, because, you know, there were a lot of people of all races, nationalities, sexualities, you know, who came to his support as a human being, who did not deserve to experience this. And as it turns out, you know, it wasn't true. And then you have to ask yourself this question: was it worth it? Now, you were on one of the hottest shows on TV, and now that's all gone.
But get this. He had 12 episodes. Mm-hmm. They cut him down to 4.
And then cut him out all together.
Cut him out all together.
Yeah. So
cut him out all together, you know, and I'm like, wow, that is just, you lost your job.
Yeah.
Now what you want to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do now?
And the thing about it, the road, the climb uphill is going to be a tough one.
He needs to have some serious PR people who are going to pound the pavements for him to get him back on top, because like you said, he was on the hottest show. On TV. Empire, you got Power. Those are the two hottest shows for right now. Because when Game of Thrones come back, when GOT come back, GOT is going to be at the top of the list, and I'm here for it, honey. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Game of Thrones. I am patiently waiting and marking my calendar, because when Game of Thrones come back, I'm going to be in it.
To win it.
Listen. So,
like Bennett.
You know, it's man, I tell you, it's just sad. It's just really sad. And then R. Kelly, he went to jail over the weekend, post bail. He's out on bail. And he pled not guilty. Yeah. And they told him, you know, you got to stay away from these girls. And he got his trial coming up on March 22nd. Okay. Yeah, March 22nd.
Yeah, so he's
due back in court. We'll keep you updated on that. Yeah. And then
there was another video that surfaced.
They got these videos are just popping up. And see, you know what? Mm-hmm. Somebody said it's his fault. Why you got to tape everything? Right. But like his brother said in the documentary, he likes taping. Right. He likes taping things. Mm. But now the tapes are going to be the downfall.
Because that's going to be the evidence. But, you know, and that's a staple of some other issues that are going on in his life that I'm going to infer according to my degree in psychology. Yeah. So and
then we got another incident with the coach from the guy from the Patriots, the New England Patriots.
Oh, yeah. He was a sex, prostitution thing.
Prostitution.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Everybody going to jail.
The owner. The owner of the New England Patriots. I forget his name. His name's slipping my mind.
I can't remember his name.
But I know he was investigated for.
He's in some serious
being a part of a prostitution sting. And like, is this something in the water? Is this something in the water?
It must be something in the water. Something. I'm not drinking it. You don't drink it either.
I ain't drinking it. You ain't got to worry about me drinking it.
Something's going on because
this is getting out of control, man.
Stupidity is at an all-time high. Seriously, because I mean, I was sitting there as I was watching this thing unfold on Jussie Smollett. I was sitting there like, please don't be so, please don't be so. And it turned out to be so.
Yeah, because everybody was pulling for him, man. Everybody they was playing his song. We played his song on our show. Hurt people. But you know what? You know what I learned too? From hurt people hurt themselves too.
Yeah. That's what we learn, right?
Yeah.
That's what we learn.
Hurt people hurt themselves as well.
You know, they have taken the memes and the comments to an all-time high. They are, when I tell you, the memes on Facebook and Twitter and everything, they are clowning this young man like it ain't nobody else's business.
Because people feel betrayed. They feel betrayed, and rightfully so. And that would definitely be understandable. People feel betrayed.
Did you see the one where they had Bill Cosby and him in the cell with Bill Cosby and Bill Cosby shampooing his hair?
Oh. Yeah, we're going to leave that one alone. But anyway. Yeah. Is that all you got? I'm going to keep us out of trouble here. But anyway.
It's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook. I know. It wasn't our doing.
It wasn't our doing.
It's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook.
I just shared it.
I got you.
That's all I got.
All right.
That's it.
All right. So we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, it's going to be my favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
We're going to find out what's bothering Nikee.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought with expert timing. There were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown. They were chopping them up, they were chopping them down. It's an ancient Chinese art, and everybody knew their part. From a fainting to a slip, and a kicking from the hip. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought with expert timing. There was funky Billy Chin and little Sammy Chung. He said, "Here comes the big boss. Let's get it on." We took the bow and made a stand. Started swaying with the hand. The sudden motion made me skip. Now we're into a brand new trip. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they did it with expert timing. Oh yeah.
You're listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. All right. You gotta look.
You better hit the note. You better hit that note. You better hit that note. Okay.
Boy, I'm telling you, I feel like fighting somebody right now. I'm telling you, man.
Get away from me. Get away from me.
It make you want to start karate chopping somebody.
Don't kick me.
I'm telling you, man.
Keep your feet over there.
Keep your feet on the ground. Remember our parents used to teach that, keep your feet on the floor.
No, but see, that's how it was when you got them watching those.
You felt like fighting somebody.
You really did.
Or emulating the movie.
You felt like
you said.
emulating the movie where you like kicking somebody, and I don't know how many times my brothers and we would break out into a kung fu battle after watching a film.
Right. And we always tried to emulate the language.
All the time.
So
we would do it, be flipping over the furniture and carrying on, jumping off of stuff, and my mother would be like, sit down!
But you know what I couldn't understand, though? They were always fighting over, you killed my teacher.
You killed my teacher!
You killed my teacher!
Why?
You know what I'm saying? They would rather kill it over the teacher or over a school.
Wow.
And most of the things about the karate pictures was about revenge, wasn't it?
Teacher!
Well, but you know what? Here was the funny part. It would take them a half hour to die. They would say everything they needed to say, die, and then wake up again and say, oh yeah, and take your sister from me. You know what I mean? I used to love the karate. And we're not going to mention the mouth still moving while the English is going by. Oh, man, you got to love Kung Fu movies, man. You got to love Kung Fu movies, man. That's great stuff. But nonetheless.
God, it's so true.
Yeah, man.
It's so true. You be like, why their mouth moving like that?
Yeah,
because, they can't.
The English translation. Well, no, they got to match that better. They got to sync that up a little bit better. But anyway, it's now time for my favorite part of the show. It's time to find out what's bothering niggas. What's bothering you, Nick?
I got Boston baked beans in my mouth.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, y'all know that's my favorite snack, so don't even act like y'all don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know when I start eating the Boston baked beans, I can't talk. Mm-hmm. All right. So here we go. So last week on the show, we, talked a little bit about our children and the challenge that they had out, the 48-hour missing challenge. And so we put, some things up on Facebook, and man, I love y'all so much.
Yeah, they chimed in, man.
Y'all chimed in like crazy on that. And what we all agree on, these kids, they lack discipline.
Yeah.
They lack discipline. Tibbs said they lack discipline. They lack resources. And even our friend to the show,
Miss Pat chimed in.
And
Sharon.
Oh my
everybody.
goodness.
I mean, everybody
goodness.
chimed in, man.
Antonio Lucchese said they need to get that. Antonio started cursing.
Yeah. He sure
said
did.
they need to get that beep whip, which I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Back in the day, we got out of line. Our parents tore that behind up.
Or a neighbor would tear your butt up and take you home, and then you get another beating. But that generation is gone. But
tore the behind up. You're in line.
Yeah.
These kids, curfew, you had to be in the house before the street lights came on.
Right.
Now these kids, they're coming in the house. I'm going to work and they're just getting home.
Right.
Parents don't know where they at.
Right.
And so, shout out to everybody who commented.
Yeah.
We're going to keep this thing going.
Yeah, and you know what? I told Tibbs, man, you are officially the Kevin and Nikee Show blogger, because he had some good information. He put a lot of information up there, but it was really, really good information. But go ahead.
He said resources.
Yeah.
The children lack resources. But here's the thing. Back in the day, we knew how to entertain ourselves.
We created games like we talked about. Freeze tag, double dutch, 1, 2, 3, was it 1, 2, 3, red light, green light?
Yep.
Tops. We even knew how to be creative.
Jacks.
Double dutch, manhunt, hide and go seek.
Hide and seek. So it's like when we were coming up, we didn't depend upon the city to provide this, that, and the third.
And you always had to, if you didn't, we had the basketball courts outside.
Yep.
We had the leagues going on or just going to the playground.
What's the other one? Street hockey.
Where
they would put on the skates and
rollerblading, all kinds of stuff. Skateboarding.
Ride a bike.
Bike ride. We used to go bike ride up to Tentacombe and stuff like that.
Yeah, I understand that we have to find, resources for these children to keep them occupied, but they need to do something for themselves.
Yeah.
You can't always put it on us.
You gotta take the power back.
We have to take it back. When we were younger, Mama said go outside. We sat on the step. Our friends came on, sat on the step, and we got a game of jacks going on.
Right.
Somebody got the rope.
You pulled out the Transformers, your G.I. Joe men, and you created, that entertainment for yourself. And it was positive. It wasn't hurting nobody or going missing for 48 hours or, all that old stuff. And it's like, this is a creative generation, but they're using their creativity for mischief and deceit and all that stuff. If they would channel it to positivity, things would be better. You know what I'm saying? But you're right on point, Nick.
I mean, I feel as though because of the way that, we were raised, I know this is a different generation, but I feel as though that, we need to try and go back with these kids. Show them some of the things that we did when we were younger. Because I'm telling you right now, some of these city officials don't care about your kids.
Yeah, and
you are putting your children in their hands for them to make up different things to do with your kids. They don't care about your kids.
Right. And we're definitely not condoning shutting down recreation centers and libraries and stuff like that. Yeah, we're not condoning those things. But at the same time, like Nick said, that since those things are happening, how are we going to take the power back to, reach our children?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see nothing boring about getting outside and jumping double dutch. Right. I don't see,
And dodgeball. Remember dodgeball?
Oh my goodness.
We used to love some dodgeball.
Yeah.
Or crate ball. Remember, we used to cut the crate out and we make our own little basketball. We were creative, man.
I mean, these kids today, they're not creative. They want everything handed to them. They're in a hurry for everything. They're in a rush. They got the video games. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with the video games. I had an Atari pack,
but not for 12 hours. Though.
Not for 12 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can't sit and watch the video games all day. Play video games all day.
Right.
Sit them in front of the television, watch TV all day.
Right.
They can't do that.
Right.
You can't do that. Give them some. Take this Jenga thing. Go out there and let me see you make something.
Right.
Take these blocks. Let me see you build something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Take this rope. Y'all go outside and y'all play some double dutch or something like that. Yeah. We have to take it back. So we have to come up with ways to get these kids back. Because listen, they are so lost.
They're going down the drain.
They are all over the place. 48-hour missing challenge.
So I guess this is Parents, What Are You Doing? Part 3.
Yeah. What are you doing? Part 3.
Part 3. Yeah. So you're doing series too, Nick.
I see you rubbing off on me.
I know, man. You doing series now. That's right.
You're rubbing off on me. So we have to identify what the problem is and then come up with a solution for these kids.
Yeah.
We have to do it as parents because as you can see, they can't do it.
Yeah.
They leave it up to them. They'll come up with the 48 hours.
They come with all kinds of
48-hour death challenge.
Yeah, death challenge. See who can die and come back, man. I bet you
I got a challenge. How about the graduation challenge?
Yeah, how about that? The graduate from high school and college challenge.
Let's see who can do that.
For real.
How
about learn a trade challenge?
How about the get a job challenge?
Get a jobby job challenge.
Okay.
Instead of listening to Snoop Doggy Dog. remember, what's the guy that be like, bang, bang? Remember he said that? Yeah. He said, you better get a jobby job. Talking about some Snoop Doggy Dog.
How about that? How about the no talking back to your parents challenge?
I like that one.
How about that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Help your mama around the house challenge.
Right. How about writing down my dream goals and inspiration challenge? I like that.
That's a good one.
Man, write down your dream goals and aspiration challenge.
That's a good one.
I like that one. Yeah, I like these challenges.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
That's right.
I like these challenges. Now, these are challenges I like.
These
I can get with these.
Yeah, for real.
48-hour missing. You're going to really come up missing. You better stop playing.
Yeah.
Okay? You better stop playing. You're going to come up missing for real.
Yeah. And when you get home, your mom going to give you the punch you in your eye challenge. It's like,
you trying to see if anybody going to come looking for you. But let me tell you this sad story, and I know you guys have heard it before.
Yeah.
But we talked a teeny bit about it last week, but I'm gonna elaborate a little bit about it more. Those 3 girls who went missing for 10 years. Mm-hmm. One of the girls, her name was Michelle. Mm-hmm. Michelle, people did not come looking for her because they thought that she just, walked off and went on her own way because she was fighting for custody of her son. Mm-hmm. And so when Michelle disappeared, they thought that she just gave up and just went her own way.
Right.
And here she is, she turned up missing and she's kidnapped for 10 years. And then the hurt piece came when they got freed and she found out that nobody was looking for her.
And I said last week.
Nobody.
Yeah, and that's why I said last week on the show, to add to what you were saying, these kids are looking for love and acceptance, and they want to know if somebody loves them and somebody cares. And so a lot of their acting out behaviors is stemming from not feeling secure and knowing that somebody loves them and somebody cares.
Yeah.
So.
And my question to you is, you doing the 48-hour missing challenge. How are you going to feel when you find out that nobody actually came looking for you?
Right.
Now you doing this challenge, you're playing around with it. What if nobody come looking for you? Then what you going to do?
Right.
I think the challenge failed, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it failed.
Yeah. And even if they do come looking for you, it still failed. Because, you had parents that were concerned, that were worried. You were really in harm's way, potentially.
Yeah.
And so it's a lose-lose situation all the way around.
Stop playing, because there are people today who are actually missing.
Yeah.
They're actually missing to this day, and their parents don't know where they are and if they're ever going to see them again.
And they wish it was only a challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop playing. Get yourself together.
That's good.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's good stuff.
That's all I have.
That's good stuff.
Yes. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, it's going to be time for my favorite part of the show, Kevin's Corner.
I wish I could see beyond what I can see. I wish I could touch beyond what I can touch. I wish I could feel beyond what isn't real. I wish I could imagine, yeah. There's more to who we are. There's more to what we could be. As I feel the weight of being, I'm learning how to break free. I'm back again. I'm back again free. I'm back again down. Back again free. I wish I could smell beyond what I can smell. I wish I could taste beyond what I can taste. I wish I could sense beyond the present tense. I wish I could imagine, yeah. There's more to who we are. There's more to what we could be. As I feel the weight of being, I'm learning how to break free. I'm back again. I'm back again free. I'm back again down. Back again free. I've tried to walk a mile in someone else's mind, but underneath a smile, we all feel quarantined. There's more to who we are. There's more to what we could be. As I feel the weight of being, I'm learning how to break free. I'm back again. I'm back again free. I'm back again down. Back again free.
Oh, yeah. We breaking free.
We breaking
We
free.
breaking
We breaking
free,
them
man.
chains.
Yeah, we breaking free, man.
Yes. Love it.
Because it's
love
more
it.
to who we are, man. And we're never going to reach it if we don't break free of these chains.
That's
and
right.
we're going to continue dealing with those insecurities.
Love it, love it, love it. You love it, love it. So now it's time for my favorite part of the show, Kevin's Corner.
All right. We're going to finish up our series. We've been dealing with principles that can help us overcome our insecurities. And so we're going to continue. And so this week we'll be dealing with step 4, and I'm going to combine that with step 5. So once we've identified, once we have revisited, that insecurity and where the root of it came from, whether it came from a coach or a teacher, and now we're going to take the steps to break free and try to make this a part of our daily lives, so that we don't allow people or circumstances or situations to control our day and control our lives. So if you're walking down the street and you speak to somebody and they don't speak back, man, your security is still in place. Right. It's not going to ruin the rest of your day. Hey, you realize that's their problem, and maybe they're hurting and in pain, and you're going to go head on, and you're not going to be going to sleep on it and all that old stuff. And this is what we're talking about. All right.
That's right.
So step 4 we want to start to make a connection on how the voice, we talked about that critical inner voice. That's what we've been talking about. And, you know what? I want to go back and reiterate about the critical inner voice, and then we're going to deal with our last 2 steps. All right. So there's an internal dialogue that accompanies our feelings of insecurity. This is called the critical inner voice. Okay. The critical inner voice is formed out of painful early life experiences in which we witness or experience hurtful attitudes towards us or those close to us. And as we grew up, we unconsciously adopted and integrated this pattern of destructive thinking towards ourselves, and we project that onto other people. So what events or attitudes shape this inner critic? The experiences we had early in life can be at the root of our insecurities. So just to look at the next steps, and as I said before, we're going to combine steps 4 and 5 to conclude our series. For starters, to make a connection between how the voice attacks or are influencing our present day behaviors. How do they affect us at work? How do they affect us in relationships? How do they affect us as a parent? How do it affect us in our personal ambitions? Do they undermine us? What events triggered the insecurity? In what areas is this insecurity most influential? So last week we talked about revisiting that and reliving those emotions. Sometimes you got to go back to the root and relive that tough emotion so that you can face it, deal with it, cut it up at the root. So once you do that, how is this making me feel? When you walk down the street and you spoke to that person and they didn't speak back, what did that experience connect with in your life or in your childhood that would have you going the rest of your day feeling down about yourself? You know what I'm saying? So now we want to start to do what they call epistemology in psychology. It means think about what you're thinking about. So at that moment you start to feel depressed and down, you need to take a conscious second to say, I need to think about what I'm thinking about right now. And what we want to do is just create a consciousness where we can start to pause, whereas before there was no pause. They treated you bad. You automatically felt bad for the rest of the day. But now you have a conscious pause to say, okay, something happened. It made me feel bad. I know it came from someplace. And this experience that I'm dealing with today, i.e. that person not speaking to me when I spoke to them, is pulling up from somewhere else. And now that I'm experiencing those feelings, now I need to think about what I'm thinking about. So think about where can that be traced. And then we talked about the other step, denounce it. No, my self-worth isn't in line with how you're treating me. No, how you treat me when it's bad is not a reflection of who I am. And this is where what they call in psychology, where self-talk comes into play. And this is healthy. All right. So step 5, the final step involves making a plan to change these behaviors. If insecurity is keeping you from asking someone on a date or going after promotion, it's time to do the actions anyway. Because you are good enough. You know, you've been told you wasn't good enough, you wasn't pretty enough, you wasn't handsome enough. You are pretty enough, you are handsome enough, you are good enough, you are equipped enough. All right? So if you're indulging in self-hating thoughts, and that's what the critical inner voice does. It causes you to beat up yourself. It causes you to hate yourself. I think Nick shared a couple weeks ago how the young lady said that we put a song and she was saying in the song that when you tell me that I'm pretty, it lasts a little while, then I go right back. Mm-hmm. And so what we're trying to do today is we try not to go back or put in the steps to keep us moving forward. All right. And then I want to say on a simple plane, why beat yourself up when the world is doing that anyway? Mm-hmm. All right. But these self-hating thoughts, they encourage us to engage in self-destructive behaviors. And it's time to interrupt these behaviors and unleash the real you. Because we are what we think. You know, I heard a proverb say, so whatever man think of in his heart, so is he. In other words, so is your behavior. A negative thought going to produce a negative emotions. You're going to speak negative. You're going to behave negatively. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to reverse this thing by putting in positive thoughts. Like the Nutty Professor. Yes, I can. Yes, I am good enough. Yes, I am handsome. Yes, I am equipped. Yes, I can do this. Okay. So we're trying to replace it, and it's going to take time. Mm-hmm. So that we can have positive thoughts, produce positive emotion, which makes you speak positive, and now you're going to behave positive. And the best person you want to behave positively towards is yourself. Mm-hmm. Because once you behave positively towards yourself, then you can treat everybody in line with what you're projecting about you. Because we project on the others out of the foundation of ourselves. But nonetheless, this process will not be easy. With change always comes anxiety. These defenses and critical inner voices have been with us our whole lives, and they can make us feel uncomfortable at times to challenge. But when we do change, expect the voices to get louder. Mm-hmm. All right. Just preparing you. Your insecurities aren't likely to vanish overnight, but slowly, gradually, progressively, through perseverance, they will start to weaken. Whenever you notice an attack come up, and notice, and keep in mind, this attack is you against you, mm-hmm. in line with that experience or how somebody treated you. Stand up to it and don't indulge in it. It's directed. Sometimes you got to say, nope, in your mind. Sometimes you got to say it out loud. Nope, I'm not going to think like that. They're not going to ruin my day. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be happy and joyous because I'm worth the value that God says I am. Yeah. So if we want to be healthy, we don't want to let it lure us to avoid these type of exercises. Yeah. If we want to get closer to our dreams, goals, aspirations, and destiny, we can't listen to what this critical voice is telling us because it's going to hold us back. Yeah. So the last thing I want to just share is that I talked on the show some time ago about the 2190 rule. This doesn't happen overnight. They say that it's a one popular method to build habits called the 2190 rule. The rule is simple enough. Commit to a personal and or professional or progressive goal or challenge for 21 straight days. And once you've established that habit, you continue to do it for another 90 days. Nice. Why don't we try this challenge instead of going missing for 48 hours and things like this. This is a challenge that's going to make us more better as human beings. Yeah. That we can walk around and live not beneath our privilege, but above our privilege. Because then you don't have to go missing to wonder if somebody loves you because you love yourself.
Amen.
That's
to
all
that,
I got.
Brother.
I'm gonna end on
Amen to that, brother. Testify.
That's it.
Testify.
Well.
Love it.
What I say in church? Well. Yeah. That's all I got. So we're going to put it out there?
Yes.
That's it. So
put it out there.
Listen, we want to thank all our listeners, all our contributors to the blog, on our Facebook page. Yes. Thank you for contributing and chiming in. Thank you for tuning in. We know that you and hope that you have enjoyed yet another edition of the Kevin Nikee Show, talking to our main man, Pots and Pan, 50 grand. He's the man, Mr. Robert Bobby Samuels. Yes. And so thank you guys for tuning in. We do for you. And we can't do what we do without you. You can follow me on Twitter at Kevin D. Benton. You can send me a friend request on Facebook. Serious inquiries only.
That's right.
Kevin D. Benton. And then check Nick and I out on YouTube. We putting stuff up there. Follow our journey. Actor Kevin D. Benton, actress Nikee Warren.
Yeah. You can find me on Facebook, Nikee Warren, and on Twitter at Nikee Warren. And on the gram, it's Hello, I'm Nikee. That's spelled HELLOIMNIKEE. You can find our show on Facebook, The Kevin and Nikee Show, and on Twitter at The Kevin Nikee Show. Ooh, yeah.
You got it. You hit it that time.
Yes.
You hit it.
The Kevin Nikee Show. And we're coming to the gram. But listen, if you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding our show, hit us up, the Kevin Nikee Show at yahoo.com. You have any questions, comments, concerns for our special guest?
Yes, sir. Robert Bobby Samuels.
Send us an email. We'll read it to him, get the answer, and read it back and read it on the air. And who knows, like I said, every week, your letter can be featured on our show. Okay? Yeah, because I know y'all going to have a lot of questions. So, hit us up, the Kevin Nikee Show at yahoo.com. And, don't forget, check out the Covington Witches on Amazon Prime.
And we will be keeping you guys posted about more projects.
Yes.
Coming to a theater
near you.
That's
all
it.
Right, that's it. That's all.
All right. So it's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We on iHeartRadio and all across the world. We're done. We out.
We're everywhere. And we're out of here.
Peace.
You have been listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.